Hey class, today I wanted to show you how to use the website Scratch. Scratch is a website that it uses a simple block coding programming language to allow students to manipulate very simple objects. So let me go ahead and take you to the website. Starting here in the browser, you can just type in Scratch, and this is an application web app made by MIT. So you can click on Scratch here, and so this is the home page, and it's pretty cool. You can see here there's this section called Feature Projects, Featured Studios, projects by different members, and all of the content here is shareable throughout the whole community, and most of the content is made by kids, so it's really cool to kind of see a lot of the different projects other kids have been making, especially for your students who will potentially be using this. If you come up here to the top, you can you can go to Create, which is where I can show you today how you can make one of these, how you can use Scratch for your students in your classroom. Um, so Starting out here and looking through, you can see first of all that this is the animation area where you can insert objects and move them around. Um, right here are the different coding blocks that can be used uh, to manipulate and code what's going on here. Um, and right over here in this pane, this is where you can place the coding blocks. And if you put it over here and you click on it, you can kind of see that the cat over here moves 10 steps um, and follows whatever code that you have placed in this pane. Out here to the right, you can see this section is called Step by Step, and you can choose one of these and it'll walk you through step-by-step process of creating some pretty cool projects in Scratch. These are really good for students that are just starting out and showing them some of the things that they could create. Since I usually use this for high school students though, maybe if they have a specific problem they're trying to solve that I know is solvable by looking over here in these through these projects, then I'll send them to, especially this one here, Make It Fly. Um, you know, you can show them how to make a character look like it's flying here on the screen by having the background objects move. So that might be something that I have them do. But today I just wanted to show you maybe just a little project. To start out, I'm going to click the delete button and close this out. And you can follow along with me now. If you have your computer open and you're watching the video, you can open a browser and pause it anytime when you're lost. Um, but looking here, you can see, well, let's start out with adding a new sprite. You can come here and click to add a new sprite. All kinds of sprites here, and we'll start with the ball. So you can click on the ball and it'll come up on your screen. And my goal right now is I just want the ball to move back and forth on the screen, and when it hits the edge, it's going to bounce back. And I want the ball to move as smooth as possible. So we'll start with the move 10 steps, and we will choose to point in a direction too. So we want it to point in a direction, and let's let the direction just be right. And we need an event. So the event will be when the flag up at the top is clicked. The ball will point in a direction and move 10 steps. And we don't just want it to move 10 steps once, but we actually want it to use this control, and we're going to repeat forever. We want it to move 10 steps forever. Now if we were to click on this and play it, as you'll see, it's going to move to the right and it's going to have to stop on the side of the wall because the bounds have ended, and it just has to stop right there, and that's not what we want. We want it to bounce back and forth. So we need to add something in here that'll allow it to bounce off the wall. So they've added under the motion section, you can come down here and choose if on edge bounce, and we'll stick it in here so that every 10 steps, once it's in this forever loop, it'll always check 10 steps, and if it's on the edge, it'll bounce. So let's try now. There we go. We're bouncing back and forth, continuously moving and bouncing off the edge. So we have our first program here that is making the ball move from right to left and bounce off the wall. And also, it's always pointing in the direction 90 whenever it's first clicked. So that means it's only going to be able to bounce on this horizontal line back and forth. Now, if at this point, I want to give you a chance, if you wanted to try to see the ball bounce at an angle, kind of like one of those old screensavers, just constantly bouncing in different directions, what do you think you would do? Go ahead and take a second, pause the video, and see if you can make it work. Okay, so at this point, one option to help you do that is you can choose the point and direction. Instead of saying one of these options, you can put in a default or a value of your own, so maybe 45 degrees. So now if I click the flag and it starts up at an angle, it starts at 45, and now the path is going to be a little bit more random. It should just, all we did was change the direction that it was pointing in. Let's go ahead and stop that. As you can see, Scratch can be used for lots of different things. This is really just an introductory lesson to show you that Scratch can accomplish animation in a very simple way. And we can kind of, basically today what we did was take a ball and give it a screensaver path, kind of like the old style screensavers. But this website is really good for students making games and telling stories and doing lots of really cool things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you are able to use Scratch for yourself and for students in the future. Thank you. Bye.